The Niners just wrapped up day 7 of their training camp, and this was a little bit shorter of their other practices, but for everyone's surprise today, Brock Purdy actually practiced. This was different than the schedule he was doing before, which was 2 days on and 2 days off. Rather, this time he only had 1 day off, meaning it looks like Brock Purdy is even getting healthier than before, which is a great sign for the quarterback room. And speaking about the quarterback room, today everyone obviously was looking at that competition. So in this video, we'll go ahead and break down each quarterback and which quarterback won today and how the quarterback depth chart looks going forward. Today, the Niners offense went through a scrimmage as well as a move the ball period. The move the ball period emphasizes trying to score hopefully a touchdown in a short period of time. But let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into how the quarterbacks actually performed today, starting out with Brock Purdy, who took all the first team reps. In my opinion, today once again goes to Brock Purdy. He was facing the first team defense and looked solid. He didn't have any dropped interceptions or interceptions at all in comparison to Trey Lance on the day. But let's talk about Brock Purdy's day a little bit more in depth. Brock Purdy right now, to me, it looks like the same exact quarterback I saw last year, if not a little bit better. Even GM John Lynch highlighted how many players take a leap from year 1 to year 2, and he sees Brock Purdy starting to make these leaps this offseason, even though he had to recover from that UCL tear. But speaking about Brock Purdy's performance today, during the move the ball period, Purdy's unit was able to pick up 2 first downs, while Lance was able to pick up no first downs, and Sam Darnold was able to pick up 3 first downs. Okay, moving off Brock Purdy, who took all the first team reps, to Trey Lance and Sam Darnold, who split the other reps. Trey Lance took 13 reps today, going 5 of 8, and that 1 interception I mentioned earlier. Like I said, Trey Lance is great on those deep passes and some intermediate throws, but does struggle to hit gimmies. Let's talk about his plays today, specifically the move the ball period that we highlighted with Purdy. During Trey Lance's move the ball period, his first time out, he threw an interception to D. Winters on first down. On his second time, he went 3 and out with his unit. So today's move the ball period, we have to highlight that Trey Lance simply just wasn't good enough. He made poor decisions in the game. He threw that pick to D. Winters, but also just followed up with another 3 and out. In comparison, Sam Darnold did better with the same type of weapons around him. He played for 14 reps on 11 on 11 and went 6 of 8. He got 3 first downs, so better than both Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. But like I mentioned, Brock Purdy was going against the first team defense, while Sam Darnold wasn't. So every day, this is usually where I bring up Brandon Allen. But with it seeming like Brock Purdy's going to participate more and more, and the reps may be becoming less for Trey Lance and Sam Darnold, today, Kyle Shanahan decided to X out those reps for Brandon Allen and rather utilize them on Sam Darnold, Trey Lance, and Brock Purdy. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about the winners from today. The big winners have to be Niners fans. I know that Trey Lance threw that interception today, but overall, these quarterbacks look pretty good this offseason. Trey Lance has much improved mechanics and is making a quicker decision, and his throwing motion is more compacted. He does need to work on hitting those underneath passes, but that's something that he can develop over time. Moving on to Sam Darnold, he's also a former 3rd overall pick, which is something the Niners love about him. He has a ton of arm talent, and they hope to rework him because, frankly, he's been with some bad teams, including the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers. Moving on to Brock Purdy, he looks like old Brock Purdy, if not even a little bit better. And that's great news for Niners fans, considering he led us all the way to the NFC Championship game. So with it being highlighted that the Niners do value an insulated quarterback room, let's talk about the winners from today, more specifically in the quarterback room. Brock Purdy, I think, is the big winner. He was going against the first team defense, but went 7 of 10, as I mentioned, and is looking more and more like the quarterback that led one of the most efficient offenses across the entire NFL. Moving on to the second winner today was Sam Darnold. He had 3 first downs, but wasn't facing the same level of competition as Brock Purdy, but still, that's a great thing, and Sam Darnold has had an extremely strong camp with his arm talent on full display. Moving on to Trey Lance, this wasn't Trey Lance's best day by any means. He went 5 of 8, as I mentioned, with that 1 interception. Trey Lance does have that reworked mechanics though, and that's encouraging for the Niners. Ultimately though, the biggest thing is that Trey Lance and Sam Darnold are both getting more reps now because Brandon Allen aren't eating into them, which is good because Trey Lance needs as many reps as possible to develop. Let's talk about the Niners starting quarterback now. I still think this has to go to Brock Purdy. He continues to look more like himself, as I mentioned, but even Lynch sees him potentially making a leap from year 1 to year 2, where in year 1, he was crazy, coming out of nowhere and setting the whole entire NFL on storm. He had one of the best passer ratings in the league, one of the best TD to interception ratios in the league. And I mean, can anyone say they weren't excited watching the Niners storm through multiple people and look absolutely dominant with Brock Purdy at the helm? This doesn't mean that Trey Lance can't necessarily do the same thing, but right now it does look like the Niners are fully bought in to the Brock Purdy experience. But these are just my thoughts, and I'd love to hear your opinion and tell me why I'm wrong about my thoughts down below in the comment section. It would also mean a ton to me if you liked and subscribed. And as always, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.